Mesmerizing, isn't it? This is what we are going to create today and turn an image like this into something like this. Hello everyone, welcome back to Dexplorion. I am Didi. I am a Photoshop enthusiast and graphic designer, and I try to create new artistic effects in Photoshop and share that process on this channel. And in due course, I discuss various tools, techniques and tips and tricks which can be helpful in leveling up your graphic design game and improving your workflow. You have already seen what we are going to create today, and for this effect we're gonna be using one of my favorite tool in Photoshop, the Liquify Filter, and I'll be guiding you through the whole masking process, and we will also be using some filters and effects to enhance it further. Okay, enough of talks, let's get to the screen and start creating. We'll quickly set up our canvas. I'm going to use the A4 size. You can choose any dimension depending on the image you are going to use. And then we bring in the image which contains the main subject of our poster. I'll make it a little smaller and place it here for the time being. And if you are wondering where I got this image from, it's from a website called lumi.ai, where you can get an extensive collection of AI generated stock images which you can use both personally and commercially, but they are of medium resolution. If you want the high resolution of any image, they have their subscriptions, so using it commercially will be a bummer. But if you can work with medium resolution images, then I would suggest give it a try. And now we have to carry on with the background removal process, and for selecting the subject, I'm going to use the quick selection tool. You can use any selection tool you want and then click on the select subject button here and let Photoshop do the work of selection for us, and then we'll take it from there and refine it further. Photoshop has done the job pretty well, so we'll click here to apply the layer mask, and all of the background is hidden now. For the hair part, we will click here on the select and mask button, change the view to overlay, and take the refine edge brush tool and paint on the areas to select the hair strands. Here we have some more options available which I am not using today because we don't need it here. But if you want to explore and learn to use them as well, I have a video for that, and you can find it by clicking on the I button above, or you can go to the description and find the video link. And after we are done, we will press OK and our subject is ready. Let's resize and reposition it a little, and then we can rename this layer as subject. Before proceeding further, we will add a solid color adjustment layer, make it white for the time being so that we can work on the canvas comfortably, and place it below the subject layer. Now if we observe carefully, the hair color is not matching with the background, and so we need to change the color of the hairs. To do that, we will add a new blank layer at the top and hold the Alt or Option key and click in between the layers like this to clip it to the subject layer. Then we activate the brush tool by pressing the B key, hold the Alt or Option key to change the cursor into an eyedropper, and then pick the color from the adjacent hair area and start painting on the outer hair areas like this. But this is not turning out the way we want, isn't it? So what we'll do is change the blend mode of this layer to soft light. Right click anywhere to open the brush settings and select the soft round brush, and now paint. See how beautifully the hair color is changing. I will rename this layer as hair and select both these layers by holding the shift key and turn them into a smart object. We are finished with the subject, and now we move on to the next step of creating the paint flow effect. Now we bring in the second image. I have selected this image because I want the paint flow to be colorful and vibrant. You can choose any other image depending on the style and pattern you want. And by the way, if you want to use any of the resources I am using today, like the images or the fonts, you can go to the description and find the download links. We'll extend its height by holding the shift key and dragging by this anchor point like this. Do the same downwards. Our image is already a smart object, and now we will be applying the Liquify filter. For that, make sure the layer is selected and we go to filter here and click on Liquify. The Liquify workspace will open, and in here we will increase the brush size by pressing the right square bracket key and then activate the forward warp tool. And in the properties here, I am not changing anything, but we will click on this checkbox to turn on the show backdrop. By default it may be turned off, and in this drop down we will select our subject layer. Why? Because we want to align the liquefied layer along our subject. You can also adjust the opacity of the subject layer as per your comfort level so that you can work properly. I'll keep it around 50 and start to liquify the layer. And I'm going to do that on my graphic tablet. But you can do that with your mouse. Simply click and drag. That's all. There is nothing here which you cannot do with your mouse what I am doing with the graphic tablet, but it will be a lot more easier and less time consuming, and also your precision level will be higher. So if you are really serious about graphic designing or digital art, then this will be a device you can consider investing in. I'm doing it like this, but it never means that you have to do it the same way. It's your art, so let your imagination flow. And in that flow, you can hit the like button to support the channel and help it to grow. Just kidding. Do it only if you like the video and find it helpful. And if you're also into Photoshop art effects like me and loves to explore and learn new things, then consider subscribing. And I would highly recommend you to press that bell icon right next to the subscribe button to get notified of all my future videos as soon as I post them. Getting back, time and again you can make the brush size smaller or bigger by pressing the left or right square bracket keys. In this part, I will be moving my pen in a circular motion to mix up the things a little. I'll stop here, and this is looking a bit edgy, so we'll take the smooth tool here and paint on the selective parts to make it rounded and smooth. Next, we're gonna use the twirl tool and click and hold and move like this. As you can see, the Liquify Filter is an amazing tool, and if you want to dive deep and explore further, then you can watch my these two videos where I have discussed all the tools in here in details. And I can say they can be quite helpful and you know where to find them, right? I'm going to use these three tools and try to create what I have in mind. I'm going to stop again, but I'm not finished yet. Now we'll be doing some masking, and for that we'll add a layer mask to the liquefied layer. Take the brush tool, make the brush bigger, make sure the foreground color is black. If not, change it by clicking the X key. Open the brush settings and select the hard round brush and mask out some of the areas like this. What I am trying to do here is to make it look like the paint is flowing from the glasses of our subject, so we'll do the masking accordingly. This part is done. Now let's do something with the face. For that, I'll change the brush to soft round brush, make the brush bigger, and first mask out all of it. Now change the foreground color to white and reveal some of the parts and slowly go upwards. Now we again change back to black as foreground color, and this time change the flow to 20%, and now do the masking. This will create a faded effect as if the colors are on the subject's face. Some refinements along the edges. And we are done with the face. Let's enhance this a little further. Select the liquefied layer again and go to filter, and this time click on filter gallery. And in here we'll be applying the poster edges filter under the artistic folder. We can adjust the thickness of the edges with this slider. Then we have the edge intensity, which determines the prominency of the edges, and posterization allows you to set the number of colors you want. I'm done, so we'll hit OK. The poster edges appear too prominent, which made the whole thing appear dull. To rectify that, we'll double click here to open the blending options of the filter and adjust the opacity, and also change the blend mode to overlay. Now it's looking better. I'll set the opacity to around 80% for now. We can change it at any point of time. We can add one more filter to enhance the edges and give it some depth, and that will be high pass under the others tab here. I'll keep it around 3 and hit OK, and again change its blend mode to overlay. Now we'll be adding a text here and create an illusion of the liquid flowing and mingling with the text. To add the text, we click on the text tool and click anywhere on the canvas and type in what we want. We have to change the color of the text. I'll be selecting off-white with a slight hint of blue. Put the text at the top and change the font style to a font called Talica. Make it bigger so that it covers the horizontal space of the canvas like this. If needed, adjust the spacing between the characters. We'll be putting the text layer below the liquefied layer, and again go back to the Liquify filter to create the mingling effect. For that, we'll double click here on the Liquify filter of the layer, and this time select the focus text layer as our backdrop. Adjust the opacity to make it properly visible. Zoom in onto the text part and work with the same 3 tools as we did earlier. I'm done here, and we'll hit OK, and this is what we got. We have to do one more step to complete the effect. Can you tell what's that? Yes, you are right, layer masking. So we'll select the layer mask of the liquid layer, make a selection of the text layer by holding the controller command key and clicking on the icon of the text layer, change the foreground color to black and randomly mask out some parts of the liquid layer which are overlapping the text. I'll stop here and press Ctrl Command D to deactivate the selection, and this is what we have. It's not looking that good, isn't it? To enhance it even further, we'll double click here on the blank space of the liquid layer to bring up the layer style dialog box and click here to add a drop shadow. Play with these sliders and experiment your way to get the desired results, and don't forget to add a little amount of noise to the shadow. It will make it look more realistic. And when you are done, hit OK. We're gonna apply the same drop shadow to the focus text layer, and now it's looking good. We have to work on few parts like this where it is appearing as the text is a cutout. This is because of the shadow from the liquid layer. We don't want it like that, so we'll remove them. But how can we do that? It's not possible because the shadows are effects here which is applied to the layer, and if we have to remove them, it will be gone altogether. But if it were a separate layer, we could have done that easily, isn't it? What if I tell you we can do it? Let me show you how it's done. We go to the drop shadow of the liquid layer and right click on it, and then click on create layer here. Click OK, and here we have a separate layer having only the drop shadow. Isn't it cool? Now we can add a layer mask to it. Take the brush tool, activate the selection of the text layer because we want to work on the inside of the text. Make the background color black and mask out the shadows from those areas. And it's done. Let me adjust the poster edges a little, it's kind of too prominent. We'll select the liquid and the shadow layer and link them as a precautionary measure. And finally add one more effect to give it a 3D look. For that we again bring up the layer styles of the liquid layer and this time click on bevel and emboss. The style will be inner bevel and technique will be smooth, and then we'll adjust these sliders to get the results of our choice. This is my final settings and I'll hit OK and we are done with the effect. Let's do something with the background. I'll add a gradient to it, and for that we'll add a gradient adjustment layer on top of the background layer. Click here to open the gradient editor, then here to set the first color and it will be a shade of blue. Click here to change the opacity of the second color to 100% and then select the second color of the gradient. We can move this anchor sideways to adjust the gradient. Hit OK to confirm it. I want the blue color towards the top, so we'll click on reverse here and then adjust the angle of the gradient. Let's do some final refinements and we are done with the background. The liquid seems a little off and I think a bit of contrast will be good. For that we can add a curves adjustment layer on top of the liquid layer and clip it so that it only affects the liquid layer, and then adjust the curve like this. This is before and this is after. And now we'll be adding some more text to complete the poster. And our poster is ready. Hope you like this creation and will be trying out your hands on your next project and create something amazing. And if you are interested in some more effects which can be done using the same Liquify tool, then you can watch this video.